Hey, good morning, guys. Before we get started here, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified anytime we upload any saddle hunting material. And hopefully you like the video. I'm just going to bring you real quick. I'm filming on my phone, scouting a spot this morning before work. It's an area I think a lot of guys will appreciate this. Have you ever hit a buck and followed his blood trail and he brings you into an area, he brings you through where he lives, and you realize, like, you know, wow, it's an overlooked spot I never knew, and you find scrapes, rubs, trails, bedding, and that's exactly what happened to me. I hit a buck this year, tracked him, and he brought me down into a swamp, and I found a high spot in the swamp that was very hidden, and I think probably very much overlooked. I'll show it to you here. We got a cattail swamp right here. It's a big, huge cattail swamp, and it's probably, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 acre swamp. Then there's hardwoods on the other side. That's where I shot the buck. He ran down into the swamp, and then he came up through a high spot. You can see here, there's this little funnel, goes right through the middle of the cattails. It's a high spot, and you can kind of see it's just a nice long little high spot funnel. And he brought me right through here, and that's how I discovered it. So now I discovered this secret little spot that's in the middle of this swamp, and I feel like it's going to be a really hot area to intercept the buck, especially when they're cruising. So I picked out a tree, and I threw a line up into this tree. And typically I DRT climb, but sometimes when you have trees with lots of limbs like this, it's kind of hard to hit one limb the very first time, the limb you want. So sometimes you gotta just get into the tree. When you got a lot of limbs like this, you could actually climb on the limbs. But fortunately, I brought my SRT gear, and makes it a little bit easier than having to keep trying to throw my throw ball and get it right. Sometimes I could be a little bit frustrated. So what I did here was I threw my line up into the tree, and I base hitched to the tree. And let me just show you. I'm going to SRT climb up into this tree. And hopefully you can see this all right. Sorry, I'm self-filming here, so it's not the greatest, but I'm just going to basically SRT climb up into this tree. Once I get up on the limbs, I can go and do whatever I want. But the whole idea is really more for me to climb up, take my throw ball with me, and get it where I want it. I'll drop it over the limb that I want so I can position my line exactly the way I need it. And then this way, when I come back, I can DRT climb it, and it'll make my life easier. So let me just grab my throw ball. What I did is I got my throw ball. I'm just going to carry that with me on my throw ball line. I'm going to take it up the tree with me, and then when I get up there, I'll just put this wherever I want it so I can position it. I really think this pre-season scouting and stuff like that, it's really half the fun. You know, I love this stuff. I'm out. I work second shift, so I'm out in the morning here trying to get as much done as I can before I have to go to work. I got an appointment with somebody coming to my house at like 11 o'clock, so I'm kind of in a rush, but I can always make time for a little scout. Now that I'm on the branches, I can, for the most part, just climb it, but I just use my gear to keep me safe. Wrapped up here. Yeah, got a little squirrely up there. I got kind of tangled up in some vines and everything. But I accomplished what I wanted to do. Wanted to get this line set up on a good limb that I can climb DRT when I come back. And it works out pretty good. I can get up there. There's a lot of limbs I can climb around on once I get up to height. But DRT will be able to get me up to the limbs, and I'll be tied off nice and safe from the bottom of the tree up. So, kind of cool. I mean, you know, I have SRT gear just like today. I could climb at SRT also, but I kind of prefer climbing DRT when I have the opportunity, because I just get in with less gear. So, but that's it. Real quick, just wanted to show you guys that, and yeah, another spot. What I'm going to do now is I got my throw ball is in position now. I'll pull my line out. I'll pull a paracord loop up into the tree, and I'll tie it off and leave it here, and it'll be here forever. So just another spot I can come back to, and I try to do this every chance I can in the postseason. I've probably already set this postseason. I'll bet you I set, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 so far. So we're gonna keep going every chance I get. When I have a spot that I like, I'm gonna go to it, scout it out, try and find a good tree. I catalog all this stuff, write them all down, and I keep them in a spreadsheet where I have each stand location and the given wind that'll work best on it. So what I do is, when it's certain wind on a certain day, a good day during the season, I just look at all the stand sets that I have that'll work with that wind, and decide if it's a spot I want to go to. So the more spots you have, the more opportunities you have. So that's about it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Climb safe and best of luck.